Today we've got quite a few things to get into. I have one of the Blurring Pillow blushes from SOSHE, one of the new Valentino Colorgraph eyeliners, a new Clé de Peau lipstick, and the star of the show, new limited edition 9-pan holiday palette from Givenchy. I have got all of these products on my face. Let's get into the video and I'll show you how I got this look. Okay, I'm really excited about this blush. I've heard a lot of good things about the SOSHE blushes. I love SOSHE as a brand. I've mentioned them several times on my channel. I love their lip products. I love their eyeliner. They reached out and offered to send me a couple of products. I am so grateful. So I have a blush here in the shade Copper Spice, and then I also have the blush brush. So we're going to give these a try. I've heard really good things about the blush formula, and I love cream blushes. In this shade, in the pan, it looks quite intense. Let me just swatch it. Oh my gosh, it is. This might have been a mistake. I might have chosen wrong for my skin tone, but we're going to try. You know, you never know. Sometimes things look super, super pigmented, and then you get them on the face and they're super easy to blend out and they're easy to work with. Here's the brush. This is a very nice brush. Very soft. It's very dense. I don't know. We're going to go in with this. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to go in very lightly and I'm going to dab it off here on my wrist. Oh, you know, yeah. So like blending it out like that, it doesn't look, it looks fine. It's dark, it's intense. That's a very pigmented shade. Seeing how this applies on me lets me know that it's going to work beautifully for deeper, darker skin tones. Like it's got enough pigment, it's got enough depth that it's really going to show up well. I mean, this is me using a very, very light hand and it's still a little much. I'm going to go in with my beauty blender and just kind of try to take it down a bit. I think that's fine. I think for now, I'm just going to line my lips. I hung VANGO lip liner and fill it in. I've been loving this lip liner. So happy with this formula in this shade. That gives me enough of an idea that I'm going to end up with probably a pretty deep lip. So let's get into this Givenchy eyeshadow palette. This is the holiday palette, limited edition. I don't see a name. I mean, LE916. This looks like a beautiful eyeshadow palette. This is one of the more neutral eyeshadow palettes, which is surprising, right? This is pretty standard holiday fare. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I'll show you the packaging before I get my fingerprints all over it. So this is the packaging. When I open it up, this plastic thing is going to fall out. It does come with this cute little protective plastic cover that has the Givenchy logo on it. Nice touch. And then it has these two brushes that you can put together to make a larger brush. So I'll show you that. But here are the shades. It's a very neutral color story, very wearable. I'm not mad at it. It's just different from everything that I'm seeing in holiday this year. If everything you're seeing is like too much, this could be the way to go. This is not just a holiday palette. It's like a year-round palette, right? This has your neutral everyday tones. The only one that I'm not super excited about is this gold right here in the center, but we'll swatch them and see how they look. Let me show you the brush. So it's got a little, it like snaps together here. It's kind of cute, right? It's got a fluffier side here and then a more dense side. It's not a sponge tip. It's a brush on both sides. So that can be actually quite helpful for on the go. And then you take it apart, it fits inside your little palette there. This is my first Givenchy palette, to be clear. I've heard really good things about them. There is something about them that like visually is not as appealing to me as some of the other eyeshadow palettes. However, this color story looked so pretty. Plus, I'm trying all of the other holiday palettes. It only seemed fitting to add this one into the mix. The nice thing about this that I'm seeing right off the bat is that you do have some mattes and some shimmers and what might be some toppers. So let me just put my fingers in here and see what this is. Look how reflective that is. That is this shade here in the top corner. And already I can tell that that's a beautiful shadow. Like it feels great. Let me swatch the gold. So this one looks a little chunkier. I don't know if you can see that. Like it's just a little bit flakier. Like you can see even in the pan where it's kind of flaky around there. That's not my favorite texture. And you've got this one. Oh, that one's pretty. The white is a little flakier too, but not quite this level, right? It's holding together. It's staying together. It's not like separating. And I hope that you know what I mean by that. I'm sure that you do. The other three are very smooth, even the white. that I thought was going to be quite chunky isn't. I'm really curious about the silver. Ooh, that's a nice one. That's a really nice shade. It's holding together. The black has a bit of a sheen. I wouldn't call it metallic. Very smooth, very pretty. That is a matte brown, very smooth, like a neutral matte brown. It's like that mustardy color. I actually love that color. I think it is such a useful wearable color. I like to get really close. I know it's awkward, but I just feel like the closer that I am, the better you can see the textures of these. So this one is quite chunky, this gold up here. It is the chunkiest. The rest of them are super smooth. And then down here, you can kind of barely see it because this hand is quite discolored, but that is the taupe. I mean, look how smooth the mattes are. We've just swatched them. I don't have them on the eyes. They could all fall apart. It could all go downhill from here. But just swatching them, I'm super impressed with this palette and a little disappointed in myself for not trying Givenchy eyeshadows until now. I am so excited because I think that this palette is gorgeous. It just looks like your average neutral palette. And I mean, it is. You've got so many different textures. Okay, so we're going to go in with this taupe right here. I mean, I'm calling it a taupe. It's really more of like neutral gray brown. And I'm just going to run that through the crease. And I am using the Angie Hot and Flashy from BK Beauty A503. And you can see that's just a very cool tone sculpting shade. It does have a hint of gray. Okay, now I'm going to go in with a BK211 and I'm going into this deeper brown right here. And I'm just going to build up some intensity here in the outer corner, kind of in the outer V. To see how this shade blends out, and so far, so good. Now I'm going in with an N13 and I'm going into this mustardy shade. I'm going to take it very, very lightly through the crease, kind of blending those two shades together and just bringing in a touch, just a touch of warmth. So I just want to show you how smooth the mattes look. Like they're performing very, very well. I think I'm going to go in with this one. It's got just a touch more bronze in it than the other one. The other one's more cool tone. Gosh, it's so pretty. This look kind of reminds me of the Captivating Dunes by YSL, like that same kind of look that I get out of that palette. It's just very neutral, very wearable, very easy. Now in the inner corner, I think we're going to go with the white. I did kind of a combo of the white and the silver in the inner corner. The white is like kind of a flakier shade like the gold when you try to pack it on. It's like a topper. The silver isn't. The silver is like an actual metallic. So, you know, it's got some opacity to it. I'm going to take the black from underneath my lash line, just the outer corner, and kind of drag it out. And I'm using a very light hand for this. I'm taking an A504. I'm going to go into this taupey, bronzy shade right here and blend that out under my lash line just to soften the black. Like I don't want it to look black. Just because I want to play and we're here, I'm going to take the white very lightly and tap it in the center of my lid, like kind of right above my pupil. I'm going to tightline, do a winged liner, and then we'll be back. I totally forgot that I had this blue eyeliner that I've been wanting to try. It's the Valentino Colorgraph. I have the shade Deep Blue. We're just going to go for it. It doesn't translate as super blue. It's like kind of a gray blue. I'm going to messily line the outer portion of my top lid. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. You can barely see it. I'm going to do just a very small black outer corner wing kind of under that blue. I'm using my Lisa Eldridge Kitten Flick. I'm going to put on my Coldplay mascara. For lips, I think I'm going to do the Clé de Peau. I don't know if it's going to be a perfect companion to this kind of cool tone eye. but we'll see. It might be a nice contrast because, like I said, this is very warm. Let's see how it goes. I'm actually not mad at that. I think it kind of works. We're going to go in with a Clé de Peau Twilight's Glow highlight. This is what that looks like. Ooh, okay. Okay, so let's talk about these products. The SOSHE blush is a really, really pretty formula. It's like a matte blurring cream. Now this shade, I'm looking at it in the monitor and it looks much brighter than it does like looking in my mirror and in person. This shade, Copper Spice, it's deep, but it's a beautiful like sun-kissed shade. Maybe it looks like a deep russet shade. Really pretty. Formula is really, really nice. It feels like the Sweet Beauty blushes, like the Rare Beauty blushes, that kind of cream that's like a dry cream, like a matte cream. So if you're familiar with that type of formula, then you're probably going to be familiar with the texture of these. I think that their color selection is really unique and beautiful. They are described as blurring blushes and they are blurring. Judging from the stain, like I just wiped my finger with a makeup remover. Judging from the staining power here, they're going to have a lot of staying power. That's just my initial impression. I could be totally wrong, but I don't see how because it is stained on my finger. I've been wiping it with a makeup remover wipe. It does not want to budge. You have to use like an oil-based cleanser to get it off. So I think they're going to be excellent like Longwear blushes. If you're into that kind of thing, if they have a shade that you like, I don't think you would be disappointed in it. And it is refillable packaging, which is fantastic. The brush is also very nice. It feels nice and like weighty, like a solid brush. It's small and precise, which I tend to prefer rather than a big, especially for blush. So it's dense, it's small. I feel like it would even make an excellent foundation brush. Now, to be fair, just so you know, if I didn't like something, I'm going to tell you. Just because I get something, like I said, I'm under no obligation to talk about anything. If I like something, I'm going to tell you. If I don't, I'm going to tell you. Star of the show here is the eyeshadow palette. I mean, this is like the season of eyeshadow palettes. I've tried so many that I just love, that I'm so super impressed with. And this is one of them. Now, this shade right here is, to me, to be fair, I didn't put it on my eyes, but just feeling it, that texture, it reminds me of like the YSL Topper shade, that kind of dry, flaky, sparsely packed texture. I prefer shimmers and metallics that are more densely packed, that like hold together when you swatch them. That one is not my favorite. The white one is similar, but a little more tightly packed. So it holds together a little bit better than that one. It doesn't feel as dry and flaky, but it does still feel a little dry. I just want to be completely honest and tell you everything that I can about something like this because, you know, these luxury eyeshadow palettes, they're expensive. This one's probably one of the better priced of them, and it is a 9 pan, which is nice. However, all of the other shades are so good. Like these two brown metallic are gorgeous. This silver is gorgeous. This shimmery black, it translates as more like a charcoal gray. I don't think it's like black black, but I love that because it's easy to blend out. It's an effortless blackened shade, which is kind of hard to find. And then the mattes, these three mattes down here at the bottom, they're so creamy, so blendable. I don't really have any fallout. Very impressed with this eyeshadow palette. And I think that it is a holiday palette that will carry you through the year. I think that you have enough versatility in here in textures and tones that, you know, I think most people would be happy with a palette like this. It's just neutrals, but they are very beautiful, very textured neutrals. The Valentino eyeliner is really pretty. It's not my favorite eyeliner formula. It's not as creamy as a Prada or a Victoria Beckham or even the Swede eyeliners, but the colors are really beautiful. I have swatched it and tried to like remove it and it's stuck on. I think it's a nice eyeliner formula. It's just not the creamiest, but that could be a good or bad thing. You know, sometimes super creamy eyeliners don't stay put. The Hung Van Gogh, I have tried this before, so I'll touch on it briefly. I love it. I think it's an excellent lip liner formula. The Clé de Peau Amberkiss Pansy, because it is so warm brown, I really thought I didn't like it. However, putting it on with this look, I kind of do. I think that with the deeper, more cool tone lip liner, that Hung Van Gogh lip liner, it balances out the warmth in the lipstick. That's just my thought. I could watch this video back and have a completely different impression. But like what I'm seeing in my mirror, I like it. The formula is so soft and smooth. I've recently just talked about the Chantecaille lip creams. This feels like that soft, smooth, glides over any dryness on your lips. Just incredibly comfortable, not super thick, not super heavy. That wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I would love it so much if you did. I will see you in my next video. And until then, please take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.